Good morning, students. Today we are learning about the Indus Valley civilization of 2500 BCE. The Indus Valley civilization, it excited along the Indus River at what is present-day northwestern part of India, Pakistan and eastern part of Afghanistan. It was considered to be the first ever urban civilization. The town developed during that time were well planned and they executed. The spectacular city planning of the time surpassed the present civilization as well. The houses were made of baked bricks and had two or more stories. The people of Harappa knew the measuring tools of length, mass, and time. They were the first in the world developing the system of uniform weight and measure. The measurements were extremely precious. The next one is the root of Indus Valley civilization. The earliest civilization in Indus Valley was discovered in 1856 by the railroad crew. Harappa and Mohenjo-daro are hill of the deed. Both cities share an urban design and the architectural features. 3 miles in circumference with the populations of 40,000. Roots of Indus Valley began the early as the 7000 BCE. Possibly began as the herders who moved into the river valley during the colder months. Over time, they may have decided to form river world, the lands of the valley. They began the trading by the boat along the Indus down into the Arabian Sea, into the Persian Gulf, and of the Tigris and the Europeans into the Mesopotamia. The stages of civilization, there are the four stages of civilization. The first one is the Meherkar, the second one is the Amri, and the third one is the Kaliban, and the fourth one the Lothal. So now we start the first stage, the Meherkar. The located at the foot of the Bolan Pass, it is about 150 miles to the northwest of Mohenjo-daro. The site of Mohenjo-daro is about 1,000 yards in the diameter of content, as seen the altered 6 month mounds with different Sarat settlements. Second stage is the Amri. The transmission from the pre-Harappa to the mature Harappan culture is the best evidence at the Amri. It seemed that the people of Amri wanted to keep the touch with the early cultures of Balkistan and considered it as something of the daring venture of settle in the Great Plains near the Indus. But Amri and similar cities in the lower Indus Valley were ability throughout the millennia of the Indus civilization, therefore, they provided the interesting evidence of the cultural evaluation in the valley. The four stages of Indus Valley civilization are clearly excited here: the Yamri, pre-Harappa, early Harappa, the mature Harappan, and late Harappan, also known as the Jahangir culture, is the regional variety cultures. The third stage is the Kalibangan. The Kalibangan was the next only to Harappa and Mohenjo-daro in size. But what is really interesting about what is excellent preservation in the pre-Harappan state strata rather than size. The old Kalibangan was founded around the 2400 BC and included some features and which is later became standard for the cities of the Indus civilization. The cities was fortified into the houses were constructed with the tried bricks of 10 into 20 into 30 centimeter. The SWAT system was constructed with the burnt bricks. The new Kalibangan standard which quite rigid and the various state of the city had with 12 to 8 or 24 feet according to their relative importance. The final stage, the fourth stage, Lothal. Lothal was founded much later than the above the three settlements. It critical was built a high platform about 150 into 120 feet. The pattern of street and alley was the same of that Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. The most unique features of Lothal was its dock. Situated at the east is the city. It was where made the hard bricks and had two opening which the all believed there have been gates. Four large around the stone with holes in the middle were found in the bottom of the basin. The major cities, the Mohenjo-daro is situated on the right bank of Indus. The Harappa is located left bank of Ravi. The Kalibangan was banks of the river. Lothal is the head of the Gulf of Campe. Benwali was situated on the bank of the now extended Saraswati River. Dolvera is the latest city of be executed in the Kutch district. Arrangements of the street of lands. The main street of each city were considerable with the north and south first street Highshore area of Mohenjo-daro was 30 to 35 feet. Among the lesser ones, the width around the 13 feet is supposed to be common, and Mohenjo-daro is the width range from between the 3 feet to 8 inches. At Lothal, they were between the 6 and 9 feet. The street has evidence from the plants and non-constant in the river width. So this is the upper town of Mohenjo-daro. The next one is the wide road of Mohenjo-daro and other Harappa sites. Drawing system, drainage system. The most important salient features of Bedford, the largest use of burnt brisk drain. The drainage system seems to have been quite extensive, at least of Mohenjo-daro and Lothal. At both places, there are drains and all the larger street and quite often in the smaller lanes also. Primary means of carry of the waste household water. They were connected such as the most cases through the water grid with the smaller trains and the houses. It is the Mohenjo-daro and Harappa had wide road cutting throughout the buildings. Provinces for wells. A large number of burnt bricks built wells seems to have been another organic features of Harappan civics planning. It must have been serviced at least 700 wells, with an average frequency of one every third house. The inset of diameter of the well varied between 2 feet and 7 feet 6 inches, but the usual size in the 2 feet and 2 inches. They were made as specially designed bird-shaped bricks. It is the wells of Mohenjo-daro. The next one is the uniformity of house construction. The Harappan houses also impressed the first with their general uniformity. Wood must have been used extensively along with the brick. At Mohenjo-daro, considerable evidence of found for the combined use of baked brick, the wooden architecture. The roofing was a mud plaster reed matting supported by the timber. The paving inside of the either of beaten earth and bricks. Only the floor of one room at the Kalibangan was founded paved with the tiles decorated with the increasing circle designs. Two more examples of the type decorations come from the Balakot of Valentino. The window are noticeably rare. The bathroom carefully paved with the water cuts drained to carry off the wastewater were almost two invariable features of the Mohenjo-daro houses. The Mohenjo-daro houses. Agriculture. The main crop were wheat and barley. The varieties of wheat are believed to have been cultivated. Other crops included the dates, mustard, sesamum, cotton, and varieties of the plants such as the field pieces. The main crops were cultivated and rabi crops, and there is a zone at the end of the innovations on land by rivers and reaped in the March or April. Indus Valley, former of pure rice field. Craft production and technology, evidence to suggest the prevalence of specialized groups of artisans such as a bronzesmith, goldsmith, bricks makers, stone cutter, weavers, and bottom cotton to wool cloth, boat builder, terracotta manufacturers, and others. And the silver makes the earliest appearance into India into data in the Indus civilization. It's the art and craft of script in the Indus Valley civilization, technology of the Indus Valley civilization. Culture and society, polity, nature of political organization, it is evident that Harappan had a very efficient and well organized administrative machinery. Religion, in view of inability to offer the satisfactory of the Indus script and art fact that the Indus seal maker and potter have left behind become our major source of information about the Indus religion. Language, there are two main arguments as to the nature of the language. It belongs to the Indus-European and even Indo-Aryan family. It or the belongs to the Dravidian family. Seals. There are two greatest artisan creations of the Indus people. made invariably to of statite or soft stone that range of size from half an inch and just to over 2.5 inches. The techniques of cutting and polishing these seals with white was the unique invention of the Harappa. Though there are different type of seals, only two of them are the main types of square type with the curved animal and inscription, and is the rectangular type with the inscriptions only. It is the Harappa seals and the terracotta earrings during the Harappan period. Terracotta figurines. The great number of terracotta figurines survive, either the toys or cuts object, and more probably as both. Most of them hand model, however, the few pieces are certainly made in a single mold. The main corpus include the range of birds and animals, including the monkeys, dogs, sheep, and cattle. Sees women and mother and child groups of are among the most widely modeled. The conclusions of the Indus Valley civilization. Thus, the currently available the data suggest the instance of the coming to an abrupt end. The Indus civilization merged into the main flow of the Indian cultural development. There are clear monuments of the Harappan from the genetic divided into the Ganga, Yamuna, Dok. There are also suggestions of the branching off in the direction of the Malwa and Maharashtra from Gujarat. However, the with the which Indus Valley civilization merged into the later pattern of Neolithic mm, Colo- Catholic route in the inner India was the Arabian from. The Arabian trains could have lingered on the sides of the Rojni and Bet Devarka in the Gujarat and Kutwala and Kulstan. But the impression of the such a larger number of smaller settlements with a more diversity of agricultural economic. Thank you, students.